Welcome to Liberated Living, where we unleash the power within to create extraordinary lives in a more just and vibrant world. I'm Rebeccah Bennett, founder of InPower Institute, and each week we'll explore the places where our liberation, healing, and spiritual growth meet. Welcome everybody to Liberated Living. I am thrilled and delighted that you are with me, Rebeccah Bennett, today as we continue our journey together. Now today's episode is about Black folks and Corona. That's right, you heard me, Black folks and Corona. Now I know that you have probably seen 1,000 news shows on this, or you might have read a lot in your newspaper or on your RSS feeds. You might be tracking and paying attention through Twitter and other things about what's going on with this virus. But I want to add my voice to this work because it is so important for us to know just how special our lives are and what it is that we need to do to protect ourselves as we are moving through these turbulent and challenging times. Now, I am founder of InPower Institute, yes, but as a part of what I do beyond the Institute, I help communities figure out how to solve difficult problems, how to respond to difficult situations. And I happen to be a part of a team called Prepare STL that is helping our region's most vulnerable community members do two things. One, stop the spread of the virus, and two, survive the shutdown, because most of us are living under conditions of shelter in place at this point. So I want to bring some of the information that I've been learning to you because I think it's really important for us to know. Now, in the course of my work, some of what I am seeing is that there are lots of us who are still out here on these streets, right? As I'm driving down the street, I see us in large groups. I often see us engaged in social activities, right? Where we don't have any protective gear on in any ways. And look, I'm not interested in shaming us because I understand some things about our circumstances. One, I understand that many of us are essential workers, right? And so we are a part of the transportation system, or we're part of the healthcare system, right? Or we are part of the social service system that's delivering needed resources and supports to fellow community members, right? And that many of us, because we have lower incomes, still have to work, right? Part of the data shows that those of us who have more money were able to stay at home and work days earlier than those of us who have less money, right? And so we're looking at the impacts of economic disparities on our lives. I get it. So many of us are out in these streets because we're working. But y'all know that that's not the whole story, right? Right. A lot of us are also out in these streets because we don't actually believe what we're hearing. We don't think this virus is more than a common cold, right? That it's anything significant or too serious. And part of the reason for that is that we don't trust the institutions that are giving us information. We often don't trust government because many of us have experienced or know people who have experienced state-sanctioned violence. Or we have experienced discrimination in lots of different ways, and it's often happened in the course of our interactions with government. So we don't trust that source so much. Many of us don't trust our healthcare systems because we've had negative experiences. If we haven't had adequate health insurance, we haven't been treated with care and respect and professionalism, or because we remember the days of the Tuskegee experiments, and we just don't trust healthcare institutions like that. There are others of us who do not trust the media. We don't trust the media because it often portrays us in negative ways, focusing primarily on Black pathology, what's wrong with Black folks, right? And because of this, many of us don't trust the media as a credible information source. So government, healthcare, media, all of these institutions are telling us about the things that we need to do to protect ourselves. And many of us are just like, I don't know, how much weight to give that. I hear you, I understand. These institutions have not always, and not even often, prioritized our Black lives. I get it, I understand. And yet, what you need to know is that we are out here dying. And we're not just dying later, we're dying first, right? So if you know what's happening in Illinois, the very first person to die in Illinois was a Black woman. For those of you who are here in St. Louis City with me, you know that the first person to die here was a Black woman. If you live in St. Louis County, you know the first person to die there was a Black woman. Are you all seeing a pattern in what I'm saying? We are dying in these streets. And so it's incumbent upon us to take this thing seriously as we possibly can. Why? Because our Black lives matter. I'm going to say that one more time just to make sure that you get it. Our Black lives. So, what is it that you need to know? What is it that I need to know to keep us as safe and protected as possible? The first thing is we need to know the signs of this illness, right? What do the symptoms look like? If we have a dry cough, if we have a slightly elevated fever at 100.4, if we have trouble breathing, chances are that we might in fact have this virus. And if we have this virus, or we think we have this virus, then what we need to do is call our healthcare provider or call our Department of Public Health to find out where we can get testing, right? We want to call first. Call before you go, because our hospitals and healthcare systems have been swamped, and they want to make sure that you are safe and that those that they are taking care of are safe, right? So call first to the best extent possible. Know that this virus can get us all. Now, you have heard that there are those who are more vulnerable than others. That's true. So our elders are more vulnerable. Our pregnant moms are more vulnerable. People with chronic conditions like asthma or heart disease or kidney disease or cancer or HIV, right, or other things, diabetes. All of our people with chronic conditions are also more susceptible. People with weak immune systems are also more susceptible, yes. But the truth of the matter is that all of us, any of us, can carry this virus. In fact, many of us do carry this virus, and we don't know it because we don't have those symptoms that I was talking about before. That's called being asymptomatic. We don't have any signs of it. And yet we're shedding virus all the time. And when we're shedding virus, what happens is that those people around us who are vulnerable actually end up becoming very sick from it. So part of our job isn't just to protect ourselves, it's also to protect those that we love. So hear me when I say that you can still transmit this virus even if you don't look like you have it, even if you don't feel like anything is wrong with you. I need you to take this as seriously as you possibly can. How does this thing spread, right? It spreads through touching, which is one of the reasons why we are often saying practice great hand hygiene. Wash your hands as much as possible, right? Sing the happy birthday song twice for at least 20 minutes or 20 seconds. I say this to my kids, happy birthday to ya, right? And we're washing our hands and we're singing this song because it's important for them to practice good hand hygiene. If you got gloves, wear them, right? Use them and practice hand hygiene on your gloves. Put your hand sanitizer on your gloves so that you're not spreading virus, right? You will be safe, but if you're touching things that have virus and then you touch more things, then you're spreading virus for those who are in your environment with you, right? Sneezing, coughing, sharing utensils, dirty surfaces. This virus can live on surfaces, right? So if you're a bit OCD and you carry your little bleach with your water and you carry it in your back pocket, it's a good thing, right? Do what you can to keep your surfaces as clean as possible. We want you to stop the spread of this virus. The best way to do that, keep your distance, right? 6 feet distance, right? If you want to love on people, do like, what kind of forever? What kind of forever, right? That's a great way for you to be like, hey, sister, hey, brother, I see you, I love you, but dude, we're not gonna hug up right now because it's not that time, right? Stay at home if you can. Stay at home as much as you possibly can. Avoid large groups of people. And when I say large, really keep it as small as you possibly can. Like if you can keep it to the people that are in your immediate household, it would be great for you to be able to do that, right? Clean your surfaces as often as you can. If you feel sick, call your health department. Call your public health department if you need to know where testing sites are. Call your physician. Call any healthcare provider that is close to you that you have access to, right? One of the things that's happening, one of the reasons why we are dying from this thing sooner rather than others is because, or in higher numbers than others, is because we are waiting to the last minute to go to the doctor and to get help. I get it. Before this virus, many of us didn't have insurance, right? Or many of us were struggling with regard to our healthcare systems, and many of us just don't trust them, so we don't go. The problem is that when we wait too long, there's very little that they can do for us. And there is currently no treatment for this that has been proven and tested. So the sooner you go, the better shots you have at being able to recover from this illness. If you need help, good people, and many of us do, if you need help with food, you need help with housing, with childcare, with bills, with utility assistance, right, with these basic services to be able to survive, and you live in the St. Louis region, call 211. That's our United Way line. Call 211. That's our United Way line, right? So that they can connect you to the social service agency or the government agency that is in position to be able to help you, right? We want you to be able to survive and thrive. We want your families to be able to be well. Lastly, this thing is stressful, y'all. I can't tell you how many texts I've gotten, how many phone calls I've gotten, right? How many pleas I've gotten from folks who are saying, I'm fearful, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm scared, right? I don't know what to do, right? I get it, because so much of what is in our lives is being shaken. Our foundation is being shaken. For those of us who are coaches, we know that there are sort of 4 fundamentals in a foundation: our health, our home, our work, and our family. And what this virus is doing for many of us is jeopardizing all of those. Our health, right? Some of us are worried that we are sick. Our home, some of us are worried that we're going to lose our housing, right? Our families, many of us are worried for our family members, right? All of these things, our jobs, a number of us don't know where our next paycheck is coming from. If you are stressed and anxious, I want to invite you to do a couple of things. 1, breathe deeply. Breathe deeply, taking a deep breath. Right, we're going to have to breathe our way through this thing because there's no short or simple answer. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Circle up. When I say circle up, I mean, right, bring your community close, not physically close, but call the people you know and love and have them call you, right? Keep in connection, because we can survive many things if we feel adequately supported. There's a saying that says, life doesn't give us more than we can handle. That's only true, right? Or life doesn't give you more than you can handle. It's only true if that second you is plural. When we're in community, we can survive many things. Get a lot of rest if you can. Go outside, get some sunshine if you can. Walk, be active, limit your consumption of news, of negative news. We have to be careful about what we take into our minds and what we take into our hearts, particularly since we are already feeling stressed. If you do these things, you have the best shot at being able to not just go through this thing, but to grow through this thing. Remember, beautiful people, that your Black life matters. Let's do all that we can to keep you safe and to keep you well. For more information, you can go ahead and log on to www.preparestl.com. That's www.preparestl.com. Until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.